Hey, how you doing, Simon?
Hey, I'm doing very, very well. How are you, Melissa?
I'm doing fantastic for a Wednesday.
Hump day!
Okay.
I love
Well,
that stuff, man.
me too. This week has kind of gone by fast
Good. Kind of like
so
the
far.
price of Bitcoin.
Yeah, right. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, don't we?
We do, and probably this will be a. I think this kind of should be a continued conversation because I mean we're really touching on some pretty hefty topics, but um, yeah, yeah, lots to discuss. I think a lot of there's going to be a lot I think we need to be aware of. Hence, good or bad tonight's show. By the
Yeah.
way, don't forget to subscribe to the Dipito Let's Talk
Yes.
Crypto channel. That's where we're doing these lives from. So if anybody out there that's any of my followers, please come over to the Dipito Let's Talk Crypto show. I left a link in the post and in the live streamy alert thing. I know that sounds very intelligent, and
Yeah.
professional, doesn't it? But
No,
come over to the
I'm
Dipito.
trying. I just
There it
reposted
is.
it on my
Good.
own as well. I made a mistake when I set this up earlier. I accidentally put 8 o'clock, and so I'm sorry if that caused any confusion for anyone. But we're good to go. We're at 7 o'clock, Melissa, not 8 o'clock.
We forgive you. I don't know all the religious signs. It's kind of like baseball.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, the Bitcoin running up, new all-time high. Everybody was is pumped up and
sh-
super excited about it. And you and I talked a little bit about it, and it's like, wait a minute, is this really good news, or is it bad news? Is it good news? Is it no news? So we thought we'd talk about that. What's your first instinct on this thing, Simon?
okay, so first instinct, personal experience in this space. I feel like the last all with all pumps we went up too fast, right? Historically, we've made some good gains. We broke some good ground, but something that is different, just from a technical aspect and patterns and all that. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because there's fundamentals, human emotions, all those things that are gonna there we're gonna talk about a little bit later in the show, or we're gonna try to at least disseminate which is which. But
Yeah.
we retested, maybe depending on what exchange you are watching the price of Bitcoin go up. We broke all time high, maybe just by a few pennies or a couple bucks. Okay, now that has happened before the halvening. That's the first
Mm.
time this has ever happened that I am aware of. And even individuals that have taught me TNA or TA, actually both,
Uh-huh.
have said, "Hey, this is something new. This is something
Yeah.
new." So there's others that out there, other mentors as well. Alan Stable from the Stable Crew talks. He talks fundamentals, and he's talked big money, and others have talked about big money coming into the market too. So for me, that's we went up too fast, too quick, in
Mm.
my opinion. We did this thing that we've never seen before. The reasons for that, I'm sure we'll get into that later. But for me, this is kind of a red flag. Just too much too fast.
Mm.
We've seen a little bit of corrections, but from a technical aspect, we just haven't seen the retesting of this 38,000. Well, we did technically hit 38,000 quickly, but that 35K zone,
Yeah.
we haven't come back down to it. We may not. It might be the next cycle that gets retested. And that's very possible because that's happened one time before, which was the 2020 to 2021 last leg of that bull run there.
Mm.
So again, though, just So it's different this time. I would agree. This bull run is definitely different,
Yeah.
and I'm sure there's a lot of human emotion in there that's playing. But there's the institutional money that has openly showed their hand multiple times for the past solid 6 months. Solid. It's
Mm.
like a broken record. We keep BlackRock, Fidelity, big Bitcoin proponents. My gosh, I am gonna burn in the Bitcoin hell if I don't get this right. Oh my gosh, micro strategies. Oh my god, I'm great.
Michael
Micro
Taylor?
strategies.
Are you talking?
Michael Saylor. God,
Oh.
jeez. I'm sorry, Michael.
I'm like,
I'm
what are you
sorry.
talking?
I really am, dude. I
Michael.
really am. It's a hump day. I am at low capacity right now. My bandwidth has whoop. But anyways, yeah, Michael. You know, you got proponents, big talking heads. Michael Saylor and others that
Mm.
have talked to the tune of institutional money coming in. Kathy Woods, smart lady, by the
Yeah,
way,
love
also
her.
in her multitude over and over again, they've thrown the nuggets. The institutional money is coming in. So, is the institutional money a good thing or a bad thing? And I would actually say it is both, but you really have to be aware of what side of this deal you're on. And what I mean by that is raise your hand if you sold your Bitcoin at 69,000. You know,
Yeah.
and then right, and so there's a thing there. And I had a discussion with my neighbor, but before I even share my discussion with my neighbor, I think it'll apply later in our show. But I want to hear your thoughts on that. What was your first thought? Say Christmas time to where we're at right now. What's been that reoccurring thought in your head aside from the excitement? Were you questioning anything? Were you kind of like, I mean, this is good.
I
I'm excited,
no,
but why am I not as
I was
excited as everybody else?
I was expecting it to go up, to be honest with you, especially with the approval of the of the ETFs, and the institutional money being able to come in at a greater pace than ever before. I knew that it would affect the price, and I don't think that we can. What do I say? I'm not a technical analysis person when it comes to the charts and Bitcoin, but my common sense tells me that this is a different animal than what we've been doing since the creation of Bitcoin and people buying in. There's so many things that have changed in regards to the on and off ramps. Now you have the institutional money with the ETFs being approved coming in, and you've got the big money and the likes of the Aladdin software buying the Bitcoin. And so I think that things are going to look a
Fun,
little different. Say it again.
Fundamentals is you're talking about the fundamentals, right? The variables
Mhm,
that change, right? The human factor, institutional
mhm,
money fighting to get this ETF. That's a human thing, right?
mhm.
And they need to get in because they're gonna miss out. Um, but go ahead and continue.
Well, it's not just the human aspect of people, the retail people wanting to get in, right?
No big
Um,
money.
I,
The human
this is
part of the
big.
big money.
That the human part of the big money, and I firmly believe that we're trying to move assets into Bitcoin as a store of value so that everybody's 401ks and defined contribution plans and all the savings plans and stuff are going to be slowly moved into these assets that kind of takes away from the portfolios that they have them in now, right? But trying to what do I want to say, distribute things a little bit slowly. But they're saying that, these institutional players, that they're buying, a lot every single day, and they're going to continue to buy it a lot every single day. And I think that for the folks that were, and I don't know a lot about this either, when people have the long and the shorts and all of this kind of thing, there are those players that are trying to play the game where they bought Bitcoin at a certain price and then they're wanting to sell it at a certain price. And so that's going to affect, and we talked about that in previous shows with the buy and sells and all of that. And so when it hit the 69, or even 67, 68,000, I suppose that those that bought Bitcoin at a very low price were seizing their opportunity to take profits at that time, which, in my opinion, had it been organic, where it was just retail buying and pushing the price up, it might have crashed it down quickly when these people sold, right? I mean, I just, this is how I think. I don't know that I'm, I don't even know that I'm in the ballpark, but I'm thinking if it was just if it was just retail buying Bitcoin, like they did in the past, where they would sell their, push the price up and then sell, rug pull. But the fact that you have the institutional money in it also, I just think that's going to affect it more than it
So
than change
here
the
we
way
go.
that it is. I don't know. That's my opinion. Crypto
Okay,
Professor says,
so all right,
"Evening, my
so
friends. We love you, Crypto
evening,
Professor."
evening.
We have
So
14 people watching. Hey, hello, my
let's.
friends. 14 of you watching. We love you. Thank
I would
you. Please
love
follow our show. Dip a toe.
I would love to interject the institutional money, but I'm going to delete the money part. Institutions, small 3-4 man or women or a combination of both operations probably have been carried out since 2009. I'd give you 2012 if you want to be fair. What I mean by that is the institutions have been playing this for a long time. They've been in and out on a micro scale because that's all they could really do. Because if they came in here with the full weight of what they're attempting to do now, that would make everybody's head go, "What? What's that over there? Come on!" And it would be a bad thing for them. So I believe that there has been more of a majority in the beginning of the retail market, right, organically growing, because that or those whales can only move so much, right? So in the beginning they're kind of wiggling around, but now the fin is going, right? The big whale is starting to come up, and it's going to breach for air, and it's going to do a spin, and woo, right? I think that's where we're at now, because it has the attention of other very big whales, and now they're all coming in because they figured out what you and I will do, or anybody, and that's, hey, who sold their Bitcoin for 69,000? And they're willing to pay that, and I would agree. I would agree with our friend Alan Staple, but I kind of want to go back a little bit. You talked about the long and the shorts. Okay, so what's the long and the short? You know what the long and the short is? That's just me and you making millions and millions of dollar bets, saying, I think it's going to go to here. I'll put 20 on it. $20 million. I bet you it's going to go here. That's it. There's no. They're not even getting Bitcoin. They're betting on. They're doing, like, in a roundabout way, a side bet of where the line is going to go on the chart. So check this out. I know that the last cycle, there were a few different wealthy individuals that were pretty heavily leveraged in this. Now they love the I'm not going to say the wealthy individuals love this, but I do remember a long time ago, MSNBC or whatever it was, you had the Mr. Buffett and you had the Mr. Bill Gates on there, and Bill Gates said it the best right after Warren Buffett poo-pooed Bitcoin. Um, Bill Gates go, oh, I'd short the hell out of it. Oh, red flag. You mean you do short the hell out of it? Let's be real. Okay. So when they're longing and shorting,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're not even like really buying the thing at all. They're just saying, I bet you the price is going to go here by this time. And so, what is the
Mm.
best way to get rid of your competition? Or I would even go a little bit further. We're emotional beings. When you have a wealthy family, you hate the other wealthy families. That's why you're wealthy.
True.
Okay? What's the best way to kick them in the you know what? Financially. You take
Yep.
away their money. And it's a slow, calculated, manipulated process. Us little fishies are just there caught in the middle of a trading Armageddon. This thing's what's that? There's a movie that was done. It's called Dumb Money, but it was about the GameStop phenomenon.
Oh,
And right, okay. Now I don't
yep. I
know if all
remember
the
that.
information in there was factual or not, and I haven't watched it because I just didn't need to relive that. But what happened there is, Robin Hood half shut their doors on people, so
Yes.
they couldn't keep running up the price. Oh,
Yes.
you can only sell, you can't buy anymore. Yeah. Well, that's
Well, wasn't
because
wasn't there was a little coinky dink when Coinbase was having
right.
some issues, right as Bitcoin's
Yeah,
price
yeah,
was going up.
yeah. Coinbase seems to not be able to handle the volume of people coming in, buying and selling. I don't know about that. You guys are doing very, very well over there at Coinbase. At least your stock price is going good. Tell me you can't kick that a little extra money for a few more warehouses of servers. I don't know the problems over there, so I'm just 100% smoking the sweet, sweet Chiba and speculating the hell out of this thing. But it is kind of a pattern there, y'all. So let's get back to the long and the short, and because I want to
I want
share
to
a
give a shout
thing
out
with
to
you.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth is joining us from the elliptical. Hello,
Oh,
Elizabeth.
you go, girl. Get
And
them
we've
steps
got
in.
Crawfish and XRP Slave. Say hello to you guys.
What's good, everybody? I
One thing.
like.
One thing I
Oh wait,
wanted to.
I gotta share that. Dipatowers. Dipatowers. I love it. Thanks,
Good evening,
XRP Slave.
Dipper. I wanted to mention something. Today, I was listening to a conference. I'll have to look it up so I can share it because there was a lot of good information. A lot of a lot of bankers talking, and I like to listen to what they have to say because they're the ones that are in there making these decisions. Um, and what one of them said was. The challenge right now, and just how you said about the volume, being able to handle the volume, is we're getting to a point where the infrastructure, like all of these things, are being tested um, to determine whether they can handle the volume, right? To handle the amount of traffic
The demand.
that's coming,
Yeah.
and so and
Yeah.
correct, and that makes a lot of sense, and so these are other reasons why everybody's like, when moon, we want everything to happen because we want to make money, right? But if you look at it as we are changing over to a new financial system, we're building the infrastructure from the ground up and trying to make it as interoperable and strong as possible so that there aren't any glitches, and we want things to move fast and those things take time to build. There's bugs that get worked out. There's all kinds of things that happen. I listen to the devs talk to, there's a lot of things happening in the background. And so now you've got big money coming in, which then once the big money comes in, then you've got retail people that are starting to hear the buzz, and then now they want to try to play around with it. And so I think we're entering a new phase is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I'll agree with you on the new phase. I'll agree with you.
Simon,
I'll
your
agree
face
with
is
you
like,
on the.
well,
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, okay, well, because my knee jerk reaction was standard construction, like, oh, that's horseshit. No, I agree with you on new phase, but the tricks, rather the motivation for these, and I'm going to call them tricks, are still the same, and I believe they're still going to happen. They might happen differently, but their ends are the same, and that is to take the pebble from your hand, and you'll never get the pebble back because I don't know if you watched
I'm not disagreeing.
right. We are.
I'm not
I do agree.
disagreeing with that
We're in
part.
another. Yeah. We're the. I think the same tricks per se are going to play out slightly different to a different tune, but trust. I wholeheartedly am in the camp of like, if you give up that pebble, you will never get it back. If you sell for their worthless
Yeah.
cash, I mean, they won because they have an abundance of the crappy thing, and once they get the precious thing, like BlackRock said, we're going to, or it's rumored. I haven't heard BlackRock say this, okay, but we're going to be buying heavy in the next 4 years, 5 years, whatever it's going to be, right? So that's a red flag.
Every day.
I'm right. They're going to be buying every day, which tells you what? They don't give a damn about price. Remember this, people. They do not give a damn about price because money is just a tool to get things for them. They like to grab, and this is Alan Staples said this on his live stream, and it's 100% true. BlackRock and others are in the collection of assets group. That's their real business. Actually, one part of their real business. But they are in the asset collecting business. Once they have the asset, they never let it go. Ever. Never, ever. They create products for 401ks or pensions or, the self-made millionaire to buy. And it is a product. It is not the asset. There is a huge difference there. And I was trying to explain this to my neighbor last night, where BlackRock, there's going to be a time where BlackRock comes up and you're like, hey, look, Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin's $250,000. Simon, we really like you. You and Melissa, we're going to give you $3 million of Bitcoin. What do you think? Done? Sure. Cool. I told my neighbor, I said, hey, would you sell Bitcoin for $3 million? He goes, yeah. I'm like, they know that and they'll give it to you. He's like, right on. I'm like, but here's the thing. How many 401k plans are there out there per individual? He's like, a lot. I'm like, yeah. You know what that means? They can take that Bitcoin, just one, and say, hey, the next 100,000 people, y'all get to own a piece of this Bitcoin on paper. But you don't get to really own the thing. You just get a portion of it on paper. So how much does that make that Bitcoin truly worth? Retail price times 100,000. That's what they do.
So I look at this in many different ways because
the price.
Number one,
the price, right?
We're talking about the price, but there's also some fundamental things that are going on too. Number one, I agree with you that any of you out there listening, buy your own Bitcoin right now while you can buy it. Don't sell it, buy it. Not financial advice, but if you choose to buy it, hold on to it in your own wallet. The ETF, you're getting an interest in the Bitcoin. When you cash out, you're going to be getting fiat dollars back, not Bitcoin. So that's number one, and I do agree with you on that. However, number two, the thing that gives me hope, okay, we know that our dollar is in trouble. We know that we're on a debt-based system, okay?
Right.
You have a lot of innocent people that have money in 401ks, defined contribution plans, and all of that. Yes, BlackRock and the likes are, the evil, let's suck up all the asset type
Well, I
things.
mean,
That's true.
they're in the asset
However,
collection. That's what they do.
it would be irresponsible of them. It would be irresponsible of them to not be buying Bitcoin, to start moving those monies into a more of a protected asset that is going to be a store of value, or that is a store of value for the future, what we all expect it to be, right? It would be very irresponsible, knowing what they know, that the US dollar is on the, and it's backed by nothing, and it's backed by debt. And so when it sounds sometimes like I'm championing these people, I sort of am in a way, because what they do for that is going to be protecting those people that are they're unknowingly, they have no idea that their 401ks and their defined contributions and their savings are in such jeopardy. So if they can move some of that into Bitcoin as a store of value, and as some of these other assets get tokenized also, and you start having other ETFs and stuff, I not everybody is what we're doing, right? Not everybody is to our level of interest even. And so this kind of will protect them in a roundabout way. Not saying it's great, not saying, that I don't think that they're trying to suck up all the Bitcoin, because they surely are. But does anybody else see what I'm trying to say in the chat? I'm
Well, when you say protect, what are you protecting? What's being protected?
the money that their life's savings is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
S-
That I'm
Okay,
saying
but
that I'm saying that
they
our
have
money is based on debt right now. Then
yes,
they have their money in these things, in
yes,
shit, worth of shit. Okay.
yes,
So if
yes,
they're able to start putting money into Bitcoin, into
but they're
Bitcoin
not
ETFs, at least it's
just
backed by
ETF.
something,
Aha.
right?
That's kind of that we're walking a double-edged sword right now, because what they can do
But
with an
what is
ETF
your expectation though, Simon? What is your
with what?
expectation that all of these people that have 401ks, that all these people that have 401ks or defined
Mhm.
contributions are going to be smart enough or bold enough to take their money out and buy their own Bitcoin right now? Because they're not. That's what I'm saying.
I'm
So
not saying that. Here's what I'm saying.
what do you think would
Part
be
one,
responsible for
401k.
those people?
Uh, you know who has to be
Yeah.
responsible for that? They actually do. Straight up. If you're not paying attention to your 401k, then just blow it. The real deal. If you don't know what's in your 401k, seriously, this stuff ain't for dude, you got to know.
Yeah.
You have to know. Like, come on. It's not BlackRock's responsibility to go, hey, we're going to save you with the magical Bitcoin. Like, no, that's not what they do. In fact, for just a moment, because one 40K, 40, let me try it again. Just because one 40K company management peoples, I know, want to participate in that with BlackRock. There's others that don't. Vanguard. That's all I'm going to say. They said we're not doing an ETF. So that means in that moment, for that time, all those people got screwed, per se. Okay, per
For
se.
now.
Okay, all right, for now. But
Right.
here's the other part of this. When BlackRock says, "Hey, we're going to give you you're invested into the Bitcoin fund." Now, let's say that Bitcoin fund I'm gonna do easy math here tonight, okay? Because I can't math today. It's worth $1 million. Okay, that fund's worth $1 million right now. There's been $1 million that have come in from pensions, 401ks, other types of vehicles. Okay, so now there's $1 million worth of that fund, and there's 100 million people that are attached to that $1 million. Okay, so a million divided by 100 million is everybody put in $100. That's how it would be kind of balanced, right? Theoretically, if you did it like that. The problem is that if the whole poop trash goes down, and from what the point you're trying to make is if stock market goes down, 401ks are wrecked 2008 style again, right? Well, at least you have the Bitcoin that retains some of the funds. Agreed. But here is the problem that is a problem that you highlighted a little bit earlier, which is the American dollar is going down, right? Well, guess what, Mr. BlackRock and others do for your 401k? Because we have rules around here and we obey the rules. They say, here is your cash. Bye. By the way, you can't touch this cash, 401k, till 55 without penalties, or 65, or maybe in 10 years it'll be 75, right? So how good
75,
is your
yeah.
money gonna be then? By the way, we're gonna tax the living out of you. So, I know I'm getting on the soapbox. Hold on a second. Let me.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, you should find a way. In my opinion, find a way to get some and do what BlackRock does. See, that's the one thing that us normal people don't have. We don't have the ability to do what BlackRock does until, and I'm not just talking BlackRock, Fidelity, any of them. They hold assets, they rehypothecate, give you a copy of a Bitcoin or a copy of whatever. It's the same thing. That's what they do. Those are the rules set forth, right? So
it's not the same.
It's just the same hustle, different shiny box. You know, the difference here is, oh my gosh, we literally have the chance of a lifetime to acquire the shiny box.
You're right. You're right. Can I interject here?
Yeah,
I'm
interject.
seeing Nicole on Spaces. I want to say hello.
Okay. Hi, Nicole.
No, you didn't. Not at all. But I would like to know if, Nicole, could you give a thumbs up if you can hear Simon? Because we haven't been able to get Spaces working where you can hear us both now, and I haven't had anybody in Spaces to ask if it's working. So if you can hear Simon, please. All right, she's got a big thumbs down, so that means no. I have no
really?
idea. I have no idea.
Is my volume down on your little boxy thing?
So Nicole cannot hear you.
Nicole, do you have YouTube?
Let's see. I've got
you can't even hear me. Dang, man, that was really good. Nicole probably would have been all fired up on the juice I just dropped. We got lots of comments.
Wait,
here.
Now you're getting a heart. Can you hear him? Can you hear Simon now?
Oh, Nicole was probably being funny
Simon.
with the thumbs down.
Can you hear him now, Nicole? Talk, Simon.
Yes, hello, Nicole. Thumbs down if you can hear me. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. Give me a thumbs down if you can hear me. Come on. Thumbs down. By the way, since we're talking about thumbs down, go ahead and give us a thumbs up.
All right, she did thumbs down.
Give that like button.
Now give a heart if you can hear him.
Hello, Nicole.
Well, we're having all kinds of problems.
Thank you for stopping by. Check out the Dipito Show on YouTube.
So maybe
we're live.
All right, that's is that. Give a heart if you can hear him. If you can hear him, Nicole. She ain't giving no heart.
Nicole, come to YouTube. Tell Nicole to come to YouTube. Tell Nicole to come to YouTube. YouTube. You gotta come.
You gotta come to the YouTube, Nicole. You gotta come to the YouTubes. You gotta come to the @Dipito YouTubes. Let's see if I can. There, I just put it in the. I just put it in the chat. for anybody that that's listening, trying to listen on Spaces anyway. She can probably hear us from the video that's playing on my X account, but darn it, I'll have to figure out what the heck's wrong. Oh, let's see, requested. Approved. All right. I just approved Nicole, so we'll see if you can hear her if she comes on here.
Okay, I'm ready.
I got her as a speaker. Let's see what happens. Can you unmute? Can you unmute yourself, Nicole?
Hey, hey, hey.
Unmute? Yeah, I can hear her now.
Can you hear me?
Hear her?
Yes.
Just unmute. You can hear her?
I can.
I can't.
Wow.
So weird.
Oh man, this is
crazy.
going to
You
be
can hear
interesting.
her.
I'm
That's
like,
interesting.
I am living the Harry
Tell her I
Potter
was in
dream.
here
I'm
thinking
officially
Y'all
now.
were crazy because she was saying but then I couldn't hear anything else.
I don't get it. Yeah.
Stop.
I don't know. I'm at a
Never mind.
loss.
I was gonna say something. I'm not gonna say it anymore. But if we were at around campfire, be like,
I'll go join
stop
on
doing something.
YouTube real quick and join you there.
Yeah,
All right.
I have no clue on why that's happening.
She has no clue.
So weird.
She has.
In
has
any
no
event.
clue yeah, she's joining on YouTube. That's what I heard.
Awesome. Thank you
Okay.
for participating, Nicole, and helping me out. I appreciate it. All right, so back to this. So I totally I concur with everything that you've just said. I totally appreciate it. I get it.
And I agree with this.
I just think that there's so many things
gives
going
everybody
on,
a
and
chance,
you know,
a snail's chance. Oh, am I muted? What happened? Can you hear me? Yes, good. You're right in that
I can.
that a bit that the oh my gosh, that anybody that has a retirement account, right, has a shot at getting into something that has probably a hell of a lot more value than anything else that they may be into. Okay, another problem that that we as union workers ran into is we were initially told, no, we're not going to go for this Bitcoin ETF, and we were all we were dissatisfied with that decision at that time, because that's what the fund manager, 2 maybe 3 people, are like, no, we're not going to do it. It's like, we could send all our stuff over to Caleb and Brown and do their fun thing, and it's all in crypto, and we'd be just fine. And they actually hold the physical assets. As I talked to Susie, shout out to Caleb Brown and Susie, by the way. I talked to her last night because she was kind enough to call me to see if I wanted to participate in something like that. And she broke it down for me of what the fund is, and it's like a mutual fund, if you will, only it's crypto. It's all cryptos. And I asked, well, first question, where are the cryptos and how are they stored? And her reply was the same as the cryptos that Caleb and Brown brokers. Same security, same protocol, same policy. So I was like, tell me more. And I was on the phone.
Tell me
with her
some
half
more.
hour. We can go. It was well. So basically,
Yeah, I want to know more about
this
that.
is their I know. Off the rails. So basically, Caleb and Brown has they call it a flagship fund, and they've been doing it since June of last year in Australia, and they're bringing it over here to the States. Now, in order to participate, you have to be an accredited investor. All that mean, basically, now this is where probably about 80% of us are not going to be able to participate currently in this moment today. Accredited investor means $250,000 income per year per individual, or $300,000 for the happy couple. Okay, or you have to have $1 million worth of assets, or $1 million worth of assets to play. And I was like, great, tell me more. So she gave me the breakdown that the initial entry is $50,000. They take a percentage per month, and then they take a percentage on profit within that month. But the next month's how this works out, profit, okay, is let's say $50,000 went in the first month, right? Your first month. First month was over. They took their managing fee, and then let's say you made $2,000. So they take the profit commission from that as well. But now you have, I'm just gonna say, $51,500 now. That for the new month starts over again as far as profit principal, but overall they're still in the profit 1,500 simoleons and all that. Nicole, thank you for showing up. Hey, Nicole, I bet you can hear us now, can't you?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the
you can hear
show.
us and see us now. So, so should we run through some of these comments that we're kind of backed
Yeah,
up
let's
with
do that.
comments here?
Let's. I know. Well, we're talking about something, and right on. That's great.
Let's see. I can see in
Whoa,
here.
what
That's
happened?
awesome.
I did want to share a video of Mr. Allen, kind of reiterating
Yeah.
the short. So at the last last
Yeah.
of our show here, I think that's a little bit more
Yeah.
educational, and we can talk about that.
Oh, okay. You want to
Yeah.
wait? You want to wait a
Yeah, we can
little
wait.
bit,
We
you
can wait
said?
because where we're going
Oh,
right now,
okay.
this is
All
far
right.
more important in my opinion.
Okay. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, Alan's video was cool. Love what you're saying, Simon. The rich do need money taken away. They've made enough from the people for too long. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. And I guess this is the thing. I my mind works. I have it's so many different ways. Like I have so many different things in my head of what's going on. If I take a step back and I just focus on the things that you're talking about and the opportunity, okay, which I mean, this show really is dip a toe, right? And this
Dip
is
a toe.
your opportunity to dip a toe into this cryptocurrency space. So if there's those of you that are thinking about it and you're wanting to learn a little bit and you don't have a lot of money or you're retire and you could take some of your 401k money out, this is an opportunity where you could actually do that and buy the real Bitcoin, buy the real XRP, buy the real
Talking about the real
da-da-da.
thing, baby.
Yeah. So I mean, because it is true, they are buying up these assets, and there will come a time where they're going to be so expensive, and
Arguably
as they
right now,
produce
Bitcoin's
less and
already
less.
there.
I mean, right? So it's kind of, here's one thing I wanted to tell everybody that they're doing now. So I've been using the fold card. Okay. I trialed it. I might even throw my link out there because I think it gives you free coin, like 10 or 20 bucks or something. I don't know. It's not much, but in any event, I've been using this thing called the fold card, and I have some of my direct deposit goes directly in there. And then as I pay bills or I purchase things, I earn Bitcoin. And then when it gets to a certain amount, I can transfer that Bitcoin into my own wallet, which I've been doing. And I've probably made, since I've been dinking around with it, about $1,000 in Bitcoin, which is pretty darn cool because I was earning that Bitcoin when Bitcoin was, 25,000, 30,000, 35, 40,000, just been earning little bit. And they used to give you like 5% sometimes when you bought Amazon cards, and you'd get 5% cash or 5% back in Bitcoin. So
Yeah.
I was buying those. I did my Christmas shopping that way and made a lot of Bitcoin that way. But in any event, there's a new thing now with this fold card where you could do buys, and they've added roundup, which I really like because I'm using the fold card more and more anyway. So you can round up your purchase. There's an app called Roundly that does that also, but I never wanted to get all these different apps, so I didn't. But so you can round up your purchases to get your Bitcoin, and then you can also buy it daily, and I think daily and weekly, or certain amounts through just automatically through your fold card. And they have something where you can send it back to your bank. Okay. And I played around with it today. I bought $5 of Bitcoin. Okay. Put $5 of Bitcoin, and then
Yep.
it let me put $5, turn it right back into my cash and put it back. And it was within like 3 minutes. And I'm like, really? I could actually hold Bitcoin, put some of my money as Bitcoin and then push it into cash as I want, which I thought was kind of cool. So what's funny? What's funny?
This is funny.
What?
This is
What?
hilarious. And if Mrs. Says is out there and she's watching right now, you should look at the screen right here, okay? Simon, are you a clown without makeup? No, but I'm just as entertaining. And I'm more profitable. I don't know. Clowns might be making some serious money, man. That Circus Olay back in the day, man, that was a thing.
I was a clown. I was a clown one time. I was a clown.
I am not a politician.
Yeah.
You were a clown?
All right. So what? Tell me what were you saying, Mrs. Says? Why are you laughing?
Hold on. No. We're not jumping ship.
Because I'm really excited about that.
You're dropping about the full card.
Happy.
Yeah. Have you ever taken the amount of Bitcoin that you've gotten from the full card and added it up kind of like in a DCA, a dollar cost averaging kind of way? Have you done that?
Kind of, just because as soon as I got to the amount where I could withdraw it, and I moved it into the same, into my Divvy wallet.
Into your wallet. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
How now? Actually, that's how much is that costing you as far as the moving? Are you still having to do the network fee of 50,000 satoshis? You don't know?
I don't think so. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know how much it just cost. I mean, I'm looking at it. It's like free Bitcoin, right?
It's free.
I mean,
I get that, but
it's free. So, and
you've earned it. No, you paid for it. They gave you a little kickback, and I'm asking because you should maybe pay a little bit more attention to that, because you might be giving away more Bitcoin on a lot more transactions versus if like whatever your amount is, maybe double it and then send it, and that way you're actually saving Bitcoin just on the transaction that you're sending over there. Food for thought. You do it.
Well,
Pure world,
no, so
you rock it.
So I don't know that I would want to. I definitely don't want to leave my Bitcoin setting on the Fold app, right? I don't want to leave it setting there. I don't think. The ones that I'm earning. I don't know why, but I just don't think I really want to. I was just moving it to a wallet so that I'm just going to
get it
storing
off.
But what I thought was really cool, and from what I could tell, it was $5 and $5. I bought the $5 and then I just tested out the function to change it back into cash, and my balance was the same. So it's not like I bought $5 of Bitcoin, and then and it didn't have a fee. It didn't show a fee because there was a thing that said fee, and there was nothing. And so I tested my balance, and it was, I bought $5. It was Bitcoin. And then a couple minutes later, I was like, oh, I wonder if I change this back into cash. Changed it back into cash, and it was $5, and my bank balance was exactly what it was before I started. So that
good.
Just made me
Perfect.
think,
And that means that maybe
this is kind of cool.
Yeah, if they're doing that, they're,
and then I'm wondering then if so I might try to put a portion of my check as Bitcoin, especially maybe in times of a run up, right? Like right now where it went up and now it's going down, I might not want to do that, right? Because it might go down in value. But like if I would have had this happening before on the way of the run up, it would have been kind of cool because I could have switched it back into cash. And it would have been
Okay.
worth more, which is kind of what Ben used to do with the Litecoin card.
Yes. Yes.
I remember
And
him
I
telling us
think-
about that with the Litecoin card. So
And that's those are now see those are I like those things. Those are cool. Those are very, very cool things to do. Visa actually just said we're connecting your cryptos to our cards, so you can spend your cryptos, right? But now,
yeah, right.
I keep talking about
There's
Alan,
there's
but
always
I
a catch
just-
on that.
They're the catch, right? So for me, like this whole journey, my whole crypto journey has been an epic ride. In the beginning, I wouldn't call it that. Even in the middle, probably wouldn't call it that. 3 days ago, still might not have called it that. But taking a step back and really looking at how much I have learned, how much contrast I have from this journey is epic. Is absolutely epic. All of us, actually. All the people that I have been able to connect with, that I've been blessed to do that, to be connected to them, and whether it's just for an hour, maybe it's even 10 minutes, to where we're at, years. We're years right now. 2021 is when we first met, you and I, and a whole bunch of our other close I call us cryptopians. We are cryptopians. But
Yeah.
what we're all learning is that little hustle. That little hustle that Visa says, hey, we like cryptos. Red flag. We support it. Another red flag. So we're going to connect cryptos to your Visa cards, and we're going to let you spend your cryptos on everyday purchases because that's what we know that you like to do. In the meantime, when you use the cryptos, we're just going to go, thank you, we'll pay your tab. Oh, thank you for the cryptos, we'll pay your tab. That's what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, it's there. Yeah,
Let's-
yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not going to sell it. They're going to keep them.
No, they're going to keep.
They're building their
'Cause
bag.
Visa,
And then maybe
they're
at some
built-
point
mhm.
they're like, well, we're not going to do this anymore.
Well, and maybe not because they got it all. And I'm not saying they got it all. They've just we're maxed out because eventually they're going to run into the diamond hands or the new diamond hands that reinforce the old diamond hands and so on and so forth. And what I'm saying there
So
is,
let me ask you a
those-
question.
Why?
I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead. Fine.
So-
Answer me a
So
question.
what do you think is going to happen with programs like this Fold card, where I'm actually earning Bitcoin on using my fiat, paying bills, buying gas, buying groceries, spending money, and gift cards. They have a whole bunch of vendors now than from when I first started using the Fold card. I kind of, I dip a toe into everything that I start, little baby steps. And I like it. I mean, so far it's been good for me to use it because I'm earning Bitcoin on money that I'm spending anyway. Okay. So if I wasn't,
I get that. Sound strategy.
so,
No argument.
So where do you think if they're trying to get all the Bitcoin, where do you see programs like this going then? Like here, they're building their business. They're making it bigger and bigger and bigger with getting all of these vendors
Right,
to
they're trying
participate.
They're stealing from Visa and anywhere else right now. And then what happens? What's the one thing us humans do? It's the same dang thing day in, day out. We are creatures of habit. Let's say they don't offer you Bitcoin anymore. Are you still going to use it? Yeah, you'll go to default. You always grab the little yellow card, or maybe it's the black card. I don't know what you have. And you'll swipe. Because that's the one you've been using periodically. You've gotten into the motion, right? They got you to use their bank. Keep using us. Keep using us. Keep using us. Keep using us. Right now, you're getting some Bitcoin. I bet and they've already done this. Your fees are there. Your rewards are going to go down, 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 down. I could see this going like this, to be quite honest, and I'm just speculating here. Yeah,
They
I
already
know,
did.
but they might. They're probably
And
gonna
I
go
have to
like,
pay $10.
I'm sorry, we have Bitcoin blackout days, so you can't earn Bitcoin on this day, this day, this day, or this day between the hours of blah 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 blah. Like they're gonna pull what do they call a frequent flyer mile? They're totally gonna do that. The thing that raises red flags for me is these institutions are the tax implications for using your cryptos to pay for transactions when you are acquiring and spending in the short term versus long term. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a very valid question. My
yes.
thing is, so here's what I've done, Nicole, on that. I will say I haven't spent any of it, and I have it all going to the same wallet, and I can download my transaction history, so I know how much I earned in what year, just in case there's an issue with it. And like I said, I mean, it's like probably almost $1,000 though that I've earned in Bitcoin. And I didn't get a 1099 for it. I'll say that I did not get anything from them for that. But she's
No,
making
because
a
you didn't
valid
buy
point
it.
because, right, I didn't. You're right. Well, yeah, but so I don't know. That part of it is questionable. But until I am not making any more Bitcoin from it, then I'll use it. I
I'm
do
gonna
pay the
touch. I want
$10
to
a
touch on
month.
it.
It's a fee. There's a fee to you. There's a fee, and it's
Oh,
ten
hold on a second,
dollars.
Nicole. I got you. I got you real quick here, and this actually came from
I agree,
who's the young.
Professor.
You could do that too. Well, okay, okay. I'm gonna do two things here. One, I'm gonna touch on Nicole's question and bring a little awareness to this. Okay,
I'm
in
gonna put it
regards
back up again,
to the card, but then I'm gonna go back to the borrowing against it
Professor.
thing, and I'm professor. Yes, I'm gonna go to the professor. We're gonna touch on that because this comes back to the point I was trying to make. The one thing that is missing from our lives that institutions, Fidelity, BlackRock, et cetera, have that we don't, and we finally are in the sweet spot. But let's talk to Nicole. All right, Nicole, here we go. That's the wrong one. Where is the good one? There it is. I like it. You good dig through your wallet, find the good card. You know, it's mainly the one that you read that you don't use. Okay, so according to, or rather, this was raised by this question or issue was raised up by the owner of Strike. And Strike is another platform that you can throw in your money and get Bitcoin right away. You can do your direct deposits to it and you'll have Bitcoin. Okay. Now, the owner, I unfortunately can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Isn't that Jack
but
Mahler's?
is it Jack Mahler? No, is it Jack Mahler?
Yeah, because he's the one that has this. It's him.
No, it's this.
Pretty sure.
It's this. It's this one. This is him.
Okay. Okay.
Blinders for all you young kids. Blinders. Okay, so if you look at the back of your favorite financial institution, it reads, "This card is the property of such and such bank. Please turn in upon demand." So, what does that mean? Who's really doing the exchange cryptos to cash? Who's really doing it? And when does it really happen? Because I can tell you what, I swipe this thing in a machine, whoop, whoop. There are a multitude of things that are happening simultaneously. But if you go back and look at the code, it'll say pop, 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 pop. And so Jack said that he is not liable for the tax because he didn't do the exchange. The exchange took place on the device that was used in that transaction. He didn't do it. Therefore, the tax obligation is not on me. It's only put by you because...
Did he win, or is he just blowing smoke? Because I
He's not
mean,
blowing smoke. This is a real deal. We're oops, there it is. Oh my God! I'm gonna burn that car now. Everybody can see it. So yes, this is a real thing. The burden goes on who actually ever did the exchange. So if Visa is going to take possession, you bet there's some language in there that says we're not responsible, we're not responsible, we're not responsible. You know, so into the taxes things, we just play. I mean, look, you can do what you want on your taxes, but you better make dang sure that you're actually lawfully responsible, not morally, not ethically. That is out of the question, to be quite honest. It is a rule book, word for word, nothing assumed, word for word. And if there's less words, then you're going to have to go and look at each specific definition within the context they're within. I challenge each and every one of you to do that. In fact, I challenge anybody that has that CPA accounting stuff, really look at this. Who is actually responsible, not what we were trained who is responsible. And I digress on that. I will try to find actually that Jack conversation, because I found it very interesting, because that's what he's talking about. Who actually did the exchange? When did the exchange actually happen? And who is actually responsible for it? And so it gets really into this kind of new right now. Well, was back then new. Now people, institutions, and these institutions that are very smart make sure they put all the responsibility, all the burden on the card holder, but it's their card to begin with. Therefore, everything by default is their property. So therefore, guess what? You pay the bill, per se. But I'm going to digress on that. So I found that very interesting, Nicole.
That is and I also want to say, Nicole, I agree, and you bring up a very good point. I did just test it out with $5, so I'm not going to have any kind of issue with my $5 that I did. However, her question saying if you granted the $10 worth of Bitcoin today, converted it over USDC, then it's a taxable event for short-term gains versus long-term gains, which is, I mean, depending on how you want to live your life, okay, you want to live on the edge or you don't. But she brings up a good point, because I was thinking about it, and it's all in whether or not do I want to mess with that. Because I was thinking, I could put some of it into Bitcoin and then just convert it over as I want to use it. But then that might actually end up being a bit of a nightmare if I don't know, it could end up being a mess. So I probably won't do that, but I'm damn sure going to keep earning Bitcoin. And like I said, I put it in one place so that I don't get it mixed or commingled with anything else, so that it'll be real easy for me to determine when I got it, when it was earned and all of that kind of stuff, for the long and short-term gain thing, which is a very valid point. Let's see. Oh, sorry.
Dang
we
it,
do
I was doing
each
that
other.
Oh, crypto to crypto transactions are not taxable, only into fiat. Now this gets really dicey, okay? Just because it's implied, where's the book? You're just taking something saying, oh, it's this. No, it's not. If you trade a stock for a stock in that same industry, is there a taxable event? Because no, you're keeping it in the investing system. Look, real deal, not a tax professional. This is all that what people have done in their lives up until this point outside of crypto, property to property. Right? It's like, well, you sold it. It's like, no, I didn't sell it for anything. I did a trade. I did a trade. And you're like, well, it's fair market value. It's like, dude, we didn't sell. If we sold and went to the cash, cool. Here's the toll, mother plucker.
But his point is crypto to fiat. So me putting my direct deposit into flipping it into Bitcoin and then flipping it back to fiat.
That right there, they're They're going to
Right.
cook your
Then
goose on. Yeah.
that's the point. That's the point.
Right. But to
Nicole,
USDC, it's crypto. Then,
oh,
okay, then
well,
then
but
there's
see
this.
this in the fold card though, it went right back to my money, my cash money, USD, right? Wouldn't that be USD?
Yeah, the USD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it changed it back to fiat. So, Nicole says, great example of some of the things that we need regulations for. There's so many questions that need to be answered. And she goes on to
110%,
say,
Nicole.
I want to live on the edge where the 80,000 new IRS agents aren't coming after me until we get more answers. Yeah, I
Well,
totally get it.
I'm 100% on that, and I'm not trying to attract the 80,000 to me or any one of us. It's just we really have
Dip a toe,
I
don't
think
play that.
dip a toe in the IRS pool of their rule books. Go look at it.
Yeah, I mean, really do read it and
I
try
know
to
it's
understand
boring
it.
and
They make
it's
it
literally
kind of plan on.
they do,
Yeah.
but if you really start just whatever section you're on and you look at the directions, and then if it says person, you really need to understand which definition of person they are giving reference to in the context they're within. And I'm just going to leave that alone because I'm sure we'll do an April tax Dipito crypto show during that time. John J. Singleton explains it very well. Yes, he does. Crypto professor.
He's great.
He
Love him.
absolutely does. I know. And by the way, crypto professor, congratulations on your approval for your next endeavor. I just want to throw that out there to you too.
What's the next endeavor?
He was waiting for some permissions and licenses that he had going on. I don't know the full deal, but he did a tweet about it today, and I just thought that was great that he's been waiting so long for everything to come together for him, and he's finally got the blessings from the powers that be, and now he can move on with his dreams. And that's what I love about this crypto space is we all have dreams, and they need protecting. I want to go back to. You're welcome, brother. Dang it, where'd it go? Dang. No. Oh, right here. Borrow against it. Don't spend your crypto, right?
Yeah.
No taxes on a loan. It's been that way for all corruptible time.
Yeah.
But here's what I really want to make the connection to earlier. We were talking about BlackRock's going to keep buying, Fidelity's going to keep buying. They finally have the floodgates open, controllable, but the water's coming. The institutional money, not the institutions, but the money they're holding, they're ready to move it in, right, by any and all means necessary. And we will be tempted to give them the deal of their lives. Not ours, but theirs. What I mean by that is they are willing to pay anything for it. They already said it. They're willing to pay for it because they can rehypothecate that thing.
Right.
I'm going to just say hundreds of thousands of times. I don't know what the actual lawful number is, but you will, if you're doing the ETF, you are owning like 100 Satoshis of a fund in retrospect.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that mean that we should be doing? If you can't beat them, join them. That actually really means do what they do, only do it better. So it's time to get suited up. 3-piece suit, whatever you got, make it out of duct tape. I don't care. Actually, that'd be pretty cool. I've seen some really cool things with colored duct tape that I'm like, no way. Awesome.
Yeah.
But we got to find a way that we can make a product out of the same asset. We need to find this. Okay, now I'm going to go into a little bit of XRP here in just a minute. All right, for all my XRP Army fans out there. Okay. So we have to find a way to do what BlackRock does and and use that asset, hold that asset, but not sell that asset. That's the only thing
Yeah.
that we've never been able to do until now. And I'm going to kind of go into the AMA. As an XRP holder in the future, you'll be able to contribute X amount of XRP and participate in the AMA or
AMM.
AMA.
Automated moneymaker.
Really,
Yeah.
yes, the automated moneymaker. I don't know what AMA, dude. Aftermarket assault.
That's an ask me anything.
Yeah,
We're doing an
yeah,
AMA
you can
right
get
here.
a
Ask
you
me
can get an
anything.
XRP.
What else?
Ask me anything. Yeah, you pay me the XRP, you can ask me anything, right? Okay,
Let
so
me know what you want.
oh my gosh, dude, failing today. So anyway, so you basically put your XRP in there, and you'll get a percentage based on the profit of your pool. Okay, so in a way, we finally get to participate. We have the asset, however, we are still giving it away. There's the danger zone, right? That's the stranger danger.
Yeah.
So if you participate in
That's
something like this, I strongly recommending doing this right here. Dip that toe and let's talk. Maybe allocate 5 or 10% of your holdings of XRP to something like that to see if it really, really, if it really, really works well. Because there's going to be hiccups in the get along, and if something happens in that pool that you're participating in, if all the water gets drained out, meaning the liquidity in the XRP magically goes bye-bye, because a team of 12-year-olds figured out how to hack it, then cool, you only lost your original XRP, but maybe by then you've gained most of that principal back, and that's something else. But we got to figure out how to do what BlackRock does.
Mm-hmm.
We got to figure out what Fidelity does. We got to figure out how to do what Visa does, because Visa's doing the same thing. They're using our habits against us. And again, shout out to the Staple crew. Shout out to Elizabeth as well. It's state of mind. We have to change our state of mind on this. You can love Bitcoin, you can hate Bitcoin, you can love XRP, you can hate XRP. Dude, it's all the same thing. It's an asset. Game recognizes game, and we have assets right now. And I know how tempting it's going to be to sell, because truth be told, I've sold because I've wanted to. I've sold because I had to. And that was I'm going to just say it. That was my normal, simple mind doing that. Hey, I got money. Cool, let's buy stuff. Stupid. You did it again. They got you again. And so it's like, okay, time out. If you're going to sell, which, do it. Because if it improves your life extensively, do it. I've done it. I have plans to do that. But don't give it all away. And I have plans to do that too. I have plans to take some of my holdings and going, okay, how do I do what the big dogs do? How do I do that? How do I even just start out, little guy? Can I do what they do, only micro scale? Can I have 10 people throw money into a fund and I just sit on the Bitcoin for a while and I take a commission, or we go buy more or something like that? However they do it, Yes. I know. I'm on it, man. I'm trying.
He's
Amber-
definitely on his stoop tonight. Huh? Preaching the word.
That's right.
No, I
yeah.
agree. They are going to try to squeeze folks out. And
Yes,
you
and
know,
they'll
the
do
more-
it
the
because
more-
they have the money.
and this is why you'll hear there are several different folks that are talking about, preparedness, things that we can do to be prepared in the event of, whatever, something bad happens, to where
Right.
you have all of your bases covered, to where you don't feel desperate to sell your Bitcoin or your XRP or whatever other asset that you're involved in. the other thing is that you might purchase certain things with the intention that you are going to sell them because you're going to create, and you're going to create an exit strategy for that. For
Like a
myself,
IBC plan.
yeah, I mean, so for myself, I've just it's taken me so long to get to certain goals that I set for myself.
Right.
With of the I'm never going to sell this particular. Um, and because of the amount of research that I did and I continue to do on a daily basis, like a crazy person, I guess.
Mhm.
Um, I'm comfortable in what I've chosen and I'm going to hold on to it. But as I've collected, over the years, I would meet one goal and then I would create another goal and then I'd meet that goal and I create another goal. And I'm starting to dip into a territory where I'm thinking, well, I could actually buy a bag that I intend to sell, right? All these other things that I've got on
Right.
lockdown that I'm never going to touch. Um,
Yep.
those aren't now I'm going to start, maybe purchasing something with the intention to sell it at some point. And so, there's I guess when it comes to the price movement and the selling, there's people like that are already where I'm starting to dip a toe into. Like I
Right.
said
Exactly.
earlier, the
Exactly.
folks that bought Bitcoin at a very low price who potentially missed or probably missed the last bull run thinking, because back then even they were saying it was going to go up to 200,000, 300,000. And so I think a lot of people just held on. They, when it got up to 64 or whatever it was, they didn't sell it. And maybe some of those folks are this time decided I'm going to take some profit. And I mean, that's reasonable. I would just say that you know, if you got yourself a nice chunk um and you don't need the money, why? Why sell it if you don't have to? And then like you're
Well.
saying, if you
Mhm.
if you can borrow against it, um, once we get those types of programs in place where you can actually do it. I mean, there's been several people that did get involved with those things and got screwed on it. The Celsius.
True. I think
So
it's more of a there'll be a time and a place where you're going to be able to do what the professor was bringing mentioned to or bringing light to that he mentioned, which was borrowing against it. Right. Be careful with that
yeah,
because you can get screwed again. You're handing your cryptos over to somebody else. Right.
right.
We gotta we have to.
Mm-mm.
I think it would empower all of us, and if we were able to come to come together right now
Right now.
for the crypto
Oh,
ETF that we do. we need. I feel like if there was a way for us to come together and we could bring our own cryptos under the house, and we could then create our own ETFs on top of that, like all the others have, then now we the Bitcoiners of the nation.
mhm.
We're in charge of that, right? And imagine this. Imagine an institution that um, was for the people and by the people, because we the people. That anybody can come in with their crypto assets. You hold it, but you're a part under this umbrella by contract. Now that
Mm.
institution can go do ETFs. If you want to leave, fine, you can leave after your 12-month contract. We got to at least give it a little time for things to get going and growing. But you leave. You're in charge. You're in charge of that crypto. It's right there for you, you know, etc. It's just under this umbrella. So,
Can I ask
because
a
there's a
favor?
line.
Can I ask a favor?
Sure.
I want to ask a favor. There's 23 people watching. Um, We appreciate you guys watching so much. I just posted the link to our new Dip a Toe channel in the chat, and if you can't see the chat, we're on YouTube at Dip a Toe. If you would please subscribe to that channel and share it out and like the video, to try to get
Yeah,
us
actually, let me.
a little bit more action. Nobody really knows that we
Okay.
exist yet, and we're doing
from
our best to grow it. And I just see like there's 22 people, 23 people listening. I'm like, that would be awesome if we could get some likes and some subscribes from this.
I'm gonna put
But
it over. I'm gonna
understand.
put this over in my channel as well. I need to get that. I got it over there. So I got the link. Everybody on the Simon Says Crypto channel, there's the link to the.
Don't give up your day job. What does that mean? Are you talking
Too
about the
late.
singing?
Too late.
Huh?
It's too late.
Too late.
They won't let me. They won't let me on the job site. They say no. You just stay home. We'll call you for cryptocurrency tips and trades and etc. Okay. If you guys want to pay me hourly though, I'd greatly appreciate that. That'd be awesome.
You guys should see him before the show every time. You guys don't get to see it, but he's in the background and he's like, me, 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 me.
It's not
He
quite
doesn't.
like that.
Not really.
I mean,
No,
but I
he
have
doesn't.
done the me. La 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 la. Yeah, that's what. Rock appreciation and theory. Yeah. So
I'm over here
there you
doing
guys.
Scott before.
Well, look, if I used to drink, or I used to drink, if I still drank, then I'd probably be doing that too. But no, none of that stuff. I had to dance with that demon. I graciously bowed out. Actually, no, I went kicking and screaming, but nonetheless, I backed out anyways. Of that, a little more action from the back section. Right?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we just we need to come together. I think come together was in the actual key. You're come together. All right. I'm not gonna do it. I'll botch it. I'm gonna get sued. I'm gonna get sued by the Beatles, LTD or whatever.
Are you a singer by chance, Simon?
Only in the shower. Ask my wife.
I'm telling you guys, you should hear him before the show. He's letting it all out. La 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 la
Yeah,
la 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 la.
I like it. I like it. Retired DJ, so I can still dance and hold the beat. So we need to figure out how to hold it and make a product from it. That's the only thing we that's the only thing that's missing here. That's what I was explaining to my neighbor last night. I'm like, because I asked him, I said, would you sell your Bitcoin for $100,000? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no lies, I would too. But what are you going to do with it? It's like, oh, I paid this off, paid this off. I'm like, you just gave it back to the other side. This is like football, man. You just like ran a touchdown for him. Like, so.
It is true though. There are things that when you dip a toe into this space and you start learning, it forces you to think about money different, debt different, assets different, even using the term asset, right? I mean, before a lot of people don't use that term, or what type of assets are you invested in, right? It's a little different than I'm going to buy a latte and I'm going to go get me some new tires on my car type thing, right? It's a different.
Well, gosh, Melissa, that sounds great. Last weekend, me and the wife, we went down to the hardware store. We got us some of those cute little finishing nails to do the trim on. I mean, it was just an epic weekend, man. And then I bought me a new tool. I didn't need it, but I bought it anyways because I just needed it in my garage. And it was a cute little thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it wrong.
We are. That is one thing I'll say is that it forces you to think a little bit differently, and the more that you think differently, it kind of snowballs, and you start asking more questions, and you start learning more things, and you start making different choices. And so I personally haven't bought a latte coffee, and I was guilty. I was buying them on a regular basis. Um, and those were like $6, $7. Every once in a while I'd get a free one from Bigby Coffee. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it. I
Oh,
bought myself
I
one of
used to
those
be a
little
I used to
foamers,
be a
and I
Starbucks
make
junkie
my own.
myself.
I don't I so I but I mean that was, I don't know, $40, maybe $35 a week I would spend. If I bought myself
Uh,
one, and bought Ryan one or whatever,
yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
doing it every
yeah.
day, but I'm saying
I did 7 days a
35 bucks
week for
a little
myself.
chunk.
I I
Yeah.
did seven
I
days a
mean,
week for myself, and then the weekend was me and my wife. So there's
right.
14, 28 on the weekend, and plus another 5 times 735. Yeah, that's a $500 bill every 4 weeks.
Mhm.
Ouch.
But you
That's
just
not
start
good.
thinking about things differently, and you start making better choices, and you can still
Mm-hmm.
get that gratification when buy some Bitcoin or buy some XRP or whatever your fancy is instead of buying the latte. It might not seem like that much to, $6, $7 that you would have spent on something, but if you did that every single time, it adds up. It
But see,
adds up to quite a little chunk.
and that's mindset. This is a great example and something that every one of us can do. I still do it today because I see the value in it, and it's what Melissa is really talking about. That was like a huge gem right there. Just buy a little bit religiously. You want to go out and remember the swear jar back in the day?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
applies. That method
right.
applies right now, right?
Yeah,
Only,
there, there.
so you literally you can find a couple of bucks every $6,000 a year. Dang, Elizabeth. Wow. That
Holy
Starbucks was doing
smokes.
good, so she left.
That a lot.
Yeah, 3 people got laid off because she stopped going. Um, um, it's the repetition. It's the habit. And here's the
Yeah,
problem that we suffer from. It's not fast enough, right? We're in the I want it. We are the girl from Willy Wonka. I want it now, right? That's what happens. We do that. We give money, we get a
I want
thing.
it
It's
now.
instant. I want it now. Yeah,
Yeah,
gooses. I heard
yeah.
that song the other day. So we have to we must do it because we're learning a new habit. And learning this
Yeah,
new habit is going to create so many beautiful things. It was hard for me the first 3 paychecks to do the pay myself first, the 10% right off the top, right? I was struggling with it. I'd be like, okay, there's 10%. It's in one account. I said, no, I have to find a way to make me commit to do this. So I would go to the bank and I would literally pull out my 10%, nickels, dimes, quarters, the whole gamut. And I'd come home and I would I put it away, and I said, I'm not going to spend this on anything except for investments, but not until this point, not until I start getting a dirty grin on my face, like,
mm,
right? Of now I'm happy. Now I'm liking what I'm seeing. Okay, phase 2 needs to
mhm,
kick in. Start looking
mhm.
for an investment. That was easy. No, it wasn't. I knew the investment. But here's what happened. I didn't want to see my now, in my world, big pile, my nice little pile. I didn't want it to shrink down. I was like, well, I don't want to start over. Like that's what I felt, right? And so I had
Yeah,
like quite a few conversations with Mrs. Says Crypto about it. And finally she's like, try both. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes,
mm,
take half, go get some. Maybe the price will drop another week and then you have the other half there, or not. But
right.
maybe just try to work with half. And I said, actually, that's a great idea, because I in my mind it wasn't like just do that to that, just go, Bitcoin. That's where it went.
Yeah,
But then also I was going to take that other half and maybe find another coin to go into or not. The point was save, recognize what was holding me back. And it was, I didn't want my pile to go away. Well, don't do it all at
Yeah.
once. Do half. Happy medium. I got the asset and I still retained my liquidity in that moment. And whoever says, you know, every great man has an even greater woman behind him is
Yeah.
they're very factually true, dude. Like I literally have Angel.
You got
Straight up.
a great one.
I
I
yes.
so
but that's
I
the habit.
definitely
The habit.
what happened for me is I just deciding to do the auto buys on the exact same day as I got paid. It's in and out. There's no choice. It's already done. And that's the same way when you're contributing to your 401k at work. You have it automatically taken out of your check. It goes there. It never
Right.
touches your thing. And so when I first started doing it, you notice that you have less money. You have less money, and but it was but you get used to living off of less money, and
Yeah.
actually, it's funny because I used to. Now this is a thing, and then there's a comment I want to bring up, but
Yes.
I used to stress out if I didn't have, at least, I don't know, $300-400 left for the rest of the week, right? Like I like make sure if it was less than $400 on Monday and I didn't get paid till Friday, I would feel like, oh, this is, I need to have more money in my account, right? Now, because I'm putting money out, as I go, I can have literally less than $100 to my name, and I've gotten so good at not spending it that I'll actually have almost that same $100 when I get paid again. Because
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying, I have several. I'm not saying only, but I have like several different accounts that I put money in, and there's one account
Right.
that is my spend. And so, like I'm saying, I used to want like
You're
have
doing the
four
envelope
hundred
system at
dollars
the
in there.
banking level. Yeah.
Right. But now,
Yes.
and every time I do it and I'm like, wow, I still had that 100. I didn't need that 100, right? I could have actually bought coins with it or whatever. So anyway, I'm just saying once you get into the habit,
Yes.
it becomes easier. Yes,
Uh,
Nicole.
Nicole, you just
Absolutely.
got bumped up to the Simon Says Crypto fan club VIP section. I preach about the richest man in Babylon. It is probably one of the best books, and I am Audible, straight up Audible. I love Audible because you go back and listen, go back and listen, go back. Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. Yes, the richest man in Babylon, literally ingrained not just the pay yourself first part, but the multitude of strategies that you can do. And it's all
Yeah.
mindset. 110%. I'm so glad you popped in here with that, man. That is beautiful. Very happy about that. That's great.
Fantastic.
Favorite book. Second favorite book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Go check it out. Third favorite
Hey,
book.
Lisa A. She says,
Hi
hey,
Lisa.
guys. Sorry I'm late.
Is oh, it's okay. Did you get the 8
We
o'clock
appreciate you being
notification?
here. Yeah, probably because Melissa put it at 8 earlier. And I don't know what
It's
I
all
was
good.
thinking, and I was like, "Holy smokes!" I told everybody it was at 8. It's at 7.
My third favorite book is Becoming Your Own Banker, and I recently just listened to that by Nelson
Oh,
Nash.
oh,
Yeah,
I need to, I haven't listened to that one
yeah,
yet.
get that. Now real deal. That's kind of a tough one. The individual that recommended it to me, uh, JV, he was on our show not too long ago.
Yeah, it
Um,
was on our show last week.
I got on Audibles, but he said you need to get the written book because of there's little illustrations in there. When the author Nelson Nash talks about he references the details of those illustrations in the book, and if you're driving along, you're just like, Yep, category 2, image 3, and yeah, that looks great. I'm picturing it in my mind when I'm in stop and go traffic. But yeah, very, very good books, man. Real good books. And you know what? I would like to just touch on this little part on The Richest Man in Babylon. That book is a culmination of short stories. It originally was pamphlets. One story went out like once a month, and like a comic book, only for money, money principles, right? And so all those pamphlets got put together into that book, and they're short stories. So if you're reading the book all the way through, just remember it's short stories. It's short stories. It's almost like watching a movie, but
That's
you
kind of cool.
watch. It is, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I read this as a teenager.
No.
I love you, Dad. I know you're above watching over me, but dang, was that a hard read. Like, I got lost.
Babylon is an easy
Oh,
read.
no, say that. Get out of here. You professor.
No.
Everything's easy for you.
Well, he's
It's
talking
easy
about
for
the Babylon book, though. Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah, the
You're
Richest Man in
talking
Babylon,
about,
yes.
Oh, I thought
No,
you
The
were
Richest
talking
Man-
about the other book was hard. I thought you were
No,
talking
Rich
about
Dad Poor Dad was actually Rich Dad Poor Dad was easy. Again, on Audible it was easy, but when you're listening to The Richest Man in Babylon, or you're reading it, or both, they're short stories. But the Becoming Your Own Banker, that actually I would say is a
That was
little bit
the one
more
I thought you were talking
challenging.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that one actually is very challenging, and I probably squirreled. I do apologize.
way.
I'm a guy. We're designed to fail, straight up. Nothing against my fellow males out there. We just
Not
accept
true.
it. There's about 15% that's just not going to happen. Like the project in the garage, 15%.
Let's just say
happen.
all of the men that are in the crypto into
Space.
crypto, they got a leg up. Like they think differently than
Right.
others.
Well, I would say like this, in a joking kind of way. For all the times that maybe we've screwed up, this is our get out of jail free ticket, and still be at the beach with the girl at the end of the show. Like, it's like, this is it. But we're learning that, well, why would I want to sell this thing just so I can be on the beach with my lady? No. We're going to find a different way for a business that we use some of the profits for, put it into a vehicle or two or three, and then we were able to get the funds out that way, and it paid for our vacation because we went to a conference, and then we just stayed there for an extra few days because we had business dinners to meet clients, that type of stuff. But
gotta have money to make money.
Right. It takes money to make money. It takes money. And that's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that. There's a blank in there. There's like a small little sentence that they don't tell you. It takes money to buy assets to make money.
Yes. Yep. You're exactly right.
Freebie.
Exactly.
Well, that's all you inspired me to say that. Vehicles. I want to go a step back into the show here, just a little bit on the vehicle part. Remember how I was talking about Caleb and Brown and how they got this new cryptocurrency fund that they're rolling out. So I was talking to Susie over there. I'm probably messing her name up. I apologize sincerely. So I was talking to her on the phone last night, and I use Caleb and Brown. A great company. A lot of people do out there, but my question to her was, okay, so if in the future I would like to maybe liquidate my position in the cryptos, could I then immediately go over right to the fund? Just immediately right there, right? I'm in profit, you go over there. I'm in profit, you go over there. I'm in profit, you go over there. And now, even though, yes, I'm in cash, right? I'm in cash, but some of my cash, maybe I take 10% off the top that goes into cash. It goes right over to that fund, and now it earns whatever it earns it's up 85% right
Yeah.
now. Oh, we can
Wow.
come and go whenever we want. We can leave
Wow.
whenever we want. I like that. There is no official lockup period.
Wow.
You can withdraw on the money anytime. So for me,
Hmm.
that's
Interesting.
almost as good as what we're talking about with the, with the physical asset. But that was the reason why I asked about the physical asset. But anyways,
Hmm.
my strategy is to, if I liquidate a position, it's going right over there into that fund, and then from that fund, that's going into some IBC, or I might do it the other way, right? I might do it the other way. I
IBC is
might
what?
go the infinite
IBC.
banking concept, using a whole life insurance, a dividend paying whole life insurance policy specifically crafted, not just any old whole life insurance policy. Go back and watch our live stream that we talked about the IBC. That we'll be doing another show here in the coming weeks, I believe. Hopefully we can get JV on here. Or,
JP. Yeah, that'd be great.
yep, JV. Yep, get him back, and of course Elizabeth and whatever, and also Manny. Get him back on here too. See how they're doing with their policies. It'd be nice to have a little check in. But I've thought about either I go do that and go right into the fund, and then go do the infinite banking process. But I actually might do it the other way. I might go here. I might go to the infinite banking, get the policy going, borrow funds from that, go into the crypto fund. Wait for it. Then the crypto fund, the interest that I'm getting on that, I can go, nope, pay the loan back. Nope, pay the loan back. Nope,
Yeah.
pay the loan back. And that's still
Yeah.
going to be rocking and rolling, getting some good interest. That guy over there is going to be getting some good dividends and good interest. And I'm still going to be holding the majority of my assets.
That's
my
very
play.
interesting. That sounds like a smart play. I was listening to a bunch of financial videos of, I don't know, last year or so, maybe 2 years ago, and they were talking about, I didn't even really know, like, people putting money into money market funds, because they were earning interest, higher interest off of it than having money in your checking account. And it was more liquid than putting it into stocks or the bonds, or what were they buying, treasury bonds or something, I don't know. But with a money market fund, you could access your funds quicker. And so this gentleman I was listening to was saying, put them in there. So I'm listening to you talk about this new fund, this crypto fund. Of course, we can't participate because I'm not I'm not an accredited investor. But as these things are developed, I'm sure things will be able to in the future, or
Right.
if our assets go. But kind of the same thing. If you're telling me you could put money in these funds and access your cash, come and go as quickly as you want with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
kind of
yeah.
along the same line, with the potential to probably, depending on what you're invested in it. Um,
Yeah, this is
that sounds very
it's a crypto
appealing.
traded fund. It's a crypto
I
traded
bet
fund. They
you
buy them,
I
they
would
hold them,
love
they
to
liquidate
see.
them.
I would love to see their client base. I bet you they are just, because you want to know what? From the very beginning of me being in this space, and with all of the Bitcoin and the XRP people and the Litecoin people and everybody like talking crap about the other coins and whatever, the one consensus that they had from the time that I entered in this space, the one consensus was Caleb and Brown. Everybody talking about Caleb
Yep.
and Brown, Caleb and Brown.
Yep.
So they got I don't know what you want to. They got some clout, or they've got some props
They've
from
they
everybody in the crypto community.
they
So
do,
that's
because
pretty
they're the
significant.
only they're the only ones doing what they do. They're first to market. And honestly, they weren't first to market. They were the first ones to have the courage to come down and build a package and a way for the average everyday Joe to stack up some chips, do some richest man in Babylon stuff and some rich dad poor dad, pay yourself first. And in 6 to 8 months, you could go and get you some cryptos from them. A broker. right? As opposed to something else, an exchange that might shut down from time to time randomly. No, they're there. Also, you can give them a little jingle. Whoa, yeah, they're a
Yeah.
little old school. You can call them on the
Yeah.
phone, send them an email. They respond.
They
What an
respond real
amazing.
fast too. And
They
they
do.
lowered the
And yeah,
amount. They lowered the amount that and they take crypto now. You could open it with crypto.
yeah, you can just send crypto
But
in there and you're in.
when I first checked it out back when Ben told us about it, it was like $2,500 or something cash that you had to open the account with back then.
I think it's 2K. For me, it's always been 2K. I
Less
knew.
now.
Is
I think
it?
it's like $500
Wow.
and
Shut
they take
the front door.
crypto.
Are you serious? No
Yeah.
fucking
Yes.
way.
That's what my friends are
Wow.
telling me. And I
No.
haven't done it yet. I haven't done it
I'm
yet. I
calling
haven't opened
Susie
it.
back. I'm gonna
Call
talk to
her
Jake
back.
actually.
Call,
Oh no,
call them back and ask.
Okay,
This is what
I'll
I've
call
been
back.
told. You could open it with because you could open it with what is it? XRP. You could deposit
Yeah.
XRP and open it. Open the
Cryptos, you
account.
can throw cryptos
Or
in there. You totally can. You can throw cryptos over there. Now, so my call goes a little.
Do you have a
I asked-
person that we should do you have a person that we should call? Those of us who haven't opened a Caleb and Brown, is there any benefit to going through somebody that we know, or does it matter?
The broker that still I'm attached to, I got grandfathered in. You have to be pretty papered up to be with that one now. So I think there's Andrew, Lucas, a few other ones over there that are taking on the client base. Really, any of them. And so check this out though. First off, go over there. Give them a shout. Really, give them a shout.
Yeah,
In fact, you
I'm
can do
going
that
to.
right now. They're open. They're 100%. They're open. They're 9 a.m. open Melbourne time. They are coming to the States. I know that they have incorporated in the old Delaware, so they are
I did
coming
not know
to
that.
a country near you here in the U.S. of A. Billy, Crypto Professor says Billy. Talk to Billy, everybody, over there at the Caleb and Brown, and tell him the Crypto Professor sent you. So on the phone call last night, I had one more question for her. I asked her, I said, "Are you guys hiring?" And she laughed. I'm like, no. I'm dead serious. Are you guys hiring, or will you be hiring in the future? And she goes, "Really?" I'm like, I'm dead serious. Like, I've been in crypto. I have cryptocurrency clients. I have people that call me all the time on my opinions on these things. Like, I literally can pick up a phone, answer emails. I know you guys don't have a mailroom right now, and that's okay. It's new age. I'm very much into crypto, and I would love to work at Caleb and Brown and be a broker for people. I really, really would. Honestly, it would give me one of the most joyous things. I would love that job. Of course, I couldn't do my YouTube channel probably anymore because I'd be working all the time. And I'm like, I don't mind relocating to Melbourne. And she goes, "Oh, no, you wouldn't have to do that. You could just stay right where you're at and work from home." And I'm like, yes, please.
I'm gonna get my friend Melissa a job too.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, let's go. We can set up a call center here. Yeah, I know, right? All of us are like, "Oh, that would be great to get a job as a broker at Caleb and Brown." Oh my gosh. So she said send her the CV, aka the resume. So we'll forget Billy, call Simon.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I get the job. Yeah, totally. I'll be out there. But the one thing that I liked about him was when Jake Boyle was going around doing a campaign in the U.S. Bitcoin Ben brought Jake Boyle on the show and talked about Caleb and Brown. What I really, really liked about him is here is somebody saying, "We do this service. You call me, we answer." And that's honestly what this space still lacks horribly. That's why
Yes.
I literally have a consulting
Mhm.
business, is because I pick up
Yep.
the phone. And, you know, call me if you need help.
And you
Four two
know
five
what?
four one two zero nine two
Especially,
four.
especially if you're dipping a toe, um, and something happens, you want to reach out and talk to somebody that knows, and it just for the comfort of the phone call to say, slow your roll, girlfriend. Everything's going to be okay. Let's check this out. Let's see what's
Mm-hmm.
happened. You
Mm-hmm.
know, sometimes transactions take time, whatever. And or
Yeah,
even if
I've had a
you're
few of
setting,
those.
or you're trying to set up a wallet, or you just want somebody to reassure you that you're doing it correctly. Like I've been there, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'd be more than happy to help somebody walk through that. It's a
All day, every day.
it's what we're here for. um but yeah, I mean, give Simon a shout out if you need help.
Here you go.
Throw
If you
out them
got, seriously, real
digits,
deal. Like
Simon.
I do more help.
Huh?
I do more help because I want to help people. Okay, that's why I'm doing what I
Type
do.
your number in there.
Right?
Type your number in there so we can put it on the
I was just
screen.
about to. I was literally just about to. You guys can give me a call, give me a text. Really anytime. If I don't answer, I don't answer, but I'll get back to you.
And this has
Oh
been a
dang.
great
No,
show. You
it
you still
has
want to
been.
play you
I
still want to
do.
play
I just. I do because he brings up just a good point of what we were talking about earlier. But
he always brings up good points.
he
Mr.
does.
Alan
He does.
Staple. If you're not following the Staple Crew, guys, check out their channel. They're he gives quality information. They're great people.
There you go.
There's
There's the
some
number
sane
in that
the
chat.
same the sane ones. Call Simon
Uh,
four two five
I'm gonna.
four one two zero nine two four. I'll make
That's
you a you
right.
want me
Ring
to you want
ring.
me to make you a commercial?
Yeah, do it.
Huh?
Entirely Crypto Solutions. Is
Hmm.
that yeah? So the crypto fund, by the way, that crypto fund, Elizabeth, is up and running. Um, it is up and running. And they're just bringing
Very
it
cool.
out to the U.S. So, sorry, I'm trying to put it in my own YouTube
When
channel chat. And
XRP
again,
moves,
guys,
we're all going to be
go.
able to get into that fund.
Well,
Huh?
that was kind of my
When
thought.
moon.
It was like, well,
Yeah. I mean,
here's another vehicle that I can put some of my
mhm,
cash that I'm willing to
mhm.
relinquish a little bit of crypto to go over here, get some interest on that, and maybe I can buy some more later. And maybe I
Well,
can't.
and
That's
here's,
okay,
I mean, here's
you
the
know,
thing.
to a
Did you, I
degree.
forgot to, if you mentioned, do you have to open it with cash, or do they also let you, because I know you can open Caleb and Brown account with crypto. So is
So
this just cash?
I'm gonna say it is cash because I asked. I said, "Can I back to my hey? Can I just liquidate and go in?" And she's actually no. She goes, actually, we would have to send you that to your bank, and then you would have to send it back to us over here. So
Okay.
that way
Okay. All
we're
right.
not
So, yep.
commingling brokerage
Yep.
with fund. And I was like,
Yep.
fair,
Yep.
cool.
Totally
Now
makes
I
sense.
didn't ask about can I come in with crypto. I didn't
Find
ask
out and
that,
come
but
tell, report back next week. Let us
I
know.
yes sir.
Huh?
Oh, excuse me.
I would,
Excuse
and
me.
I would say this too. Me and the ladies, Kita and a bunch of my lady friends, we talk about all the time about getting in that mindset. And so, we might not actually have the money to get into this crypto fund now. We're not accredited investors yet, but we will be. And so it's really
Hold
good
on.
we're thinking about these things now, so that when it does happen, we'll know what we're going to do. We're making a plan. We're making a
Exactly. Make a
plan.
plan. Make a big plan. You can do this. I already asked, are they able to bring on companies into the fund and trusts? The answer was
Mm,
yes.
yes.
So again, you just
Mm,
have to prove
hmm.
that you have $250,000 coming in
Yeah.
or you have $1 million worth of assets. And how you achieve that, excuse me, is you have to have a lawyer. I can't remember what the other one was, to say yes, you can. Yes, they do have that. I vouch, swear on the Holy Bible of God, and so on and so forth. 61-year-old fell into a rabbit hole 2 years ago. Love absorbing the information y'all are putting out. Enjoy learning. Well, thank you.
Oh, Crawfish. We love you. We're glad
Thank you,
you are
Crawfish.
joining us.
Yes, thank you so very
That you're
much.
getting what
Honk.
we're putting down.
Yeah.
All right. So do you unfortunately it's 9 o'clock. Did
Yeah,
you
I think
do
I
I
think
mean
I
we
think
started
I think
a
we're out
little
of
late. You
time.
wanna
I think we're out of time on
we're out
that
of
one.
time?
Because that'll run us over to 2.5 hours. It really will. But
Because we'll start talking about that.
Alan Staples' last video that he just posted today. Go check that out. The first couple minutes,
Absolute fire.
he talks about the shorts and people trying to make a quick buck. And I would say that that's one of the probably 3 or 4 different angles that are being played out in this run up where I go, whoa, too fast. Anyways, that's all I got. Final thoughts, Melissa?
My final thoughts is I'm thankful for you. I'm thankful for everybody that comes to the show and participates. I'm learning a lot. I feel like I'm growing from it, and I want to learn more. I'm super excited for the future. I know I have some different perspectives. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't agree about the little guys needing to be looking out for themselves, because I absolutely do. I just see so much happening that's unstoppable. I mean, nothing can stop what's coming, but we have to be able to protect ourselves. We have to be able to
We
protect
do.
ourselves, and the good point is that this show is about dipping a toe into this space and trying to learn for yourself how to navigate it, get your own, don't fall for the ETF and buy the fake Bitcoin, just like you don't buy the fake gold, right?
You know, do what my beautiful wife suggested to do with me on my investment fund that I was doing with the 10% first. Go get you some ETF and go get you some of the real thing. That's having your cake
Compare.
and eating it too. Not
Yeah.
a bad deal.
Yeah.
Try that.
Yeah. Yep.
Own
Yep.
all parts of the machine,
This way.
and you
Yep.
will be irreplaceable in your family.
Yeah. They'll be thanking you in the future for sure. They might look
Right-
at you
right
like
at-
a
right
little
at your
crazy
view.
right now.
Thank you, Simon. You
might roll their
died. We're
eyes.
rich. Oh my gosh. I'm like, you guys learn nothing.
Roll your
I'm gonna
eyes
pull
when
a
they come in the room. But in the future, like, oh, here she comes again. Oh, no. Don't make eye contact with her. Don't make eye contact with her. She's gonna talk about crypto.
Here it is. Here it is. You buy the ETFs to speculate in the markets.
Oh,
You buy the Bitcoin, the BTC Bitcoin to store value.
just start. Mic drop, Elizabeth. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely,
Elizabeth,
my
you need to
friend.
get on the show with
Nailed
Alan,
it.
and you guys need to get in there and do your thing.
Is this
Final thought.
is
what are we
this
doing
is,
next week?
Can I ask a question? Is
can ask
Elizabeth
all the questions you want.
is Elizabeth our Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Is it our? I wasn't
She-
sure
that
if
is-
it was.
That is
That
the
is
that
the
is the
one and
that is
only
the admiral. That is the admiral of the Staple Crew. That's the admiral.
I love
Yawn.
it.
Get out of here.
Yawn.
Keep-
Love you, Elizabeth.
Have you been on the treadmill this
great.
whole time? You might want to take a break.
I know, right? Huh? Looking good, Elizabeth. All right, you guys. We thank you so much. What?
I want to shout out to everybody out here, and Nicole, thanks for showing up today, having the courage to come over to YouTube and get rid of the spaces.
Love
And
her.
thank you for sticking on the spaces, even though you could hear just
Appreciate
one
it so
person
much.
speaking. So thank you
No,
for that.
that was great.
Crawfish,
it
thank
out.
you. Professor, thank you. Elizabeth, of course, thank you. Lisa, I know you're out there. XRP Slave. Clowns Unite.
Yeah. Clowns unite. All right, guys.
And Mrs. Says, I know you're out there, you're listening too, so thank you. And these are the deuces, and we're cabooses.
We're cabooses. We'll talk to you guys later. See you next week.